I am so happy that you're able to join us for this extended interview. Make sure to visit theoffbeatlife.com. Again, that's theoffbeatlife.com to get more killer resources. Hey friend, are you looking to land a remote gig ASAP? Well, did you know that we not only have a ton of online jobs you can apply to on our site, but now we're also sending them straight to your inbox. I'm happy to announce that we will be sending our email subscribers legit online jobs every Wednesday. We have done hours of research so you don't have to. If you want to be the first one to hear about the remote gigs we find, go to theoffbeatlife.com to subscribe. Hey everyone, thank you so much for being here for this extended interview with Madison, where she's going to share with us how to balance running multiple businesses from a systems standpoint. Hey Madison.
Hi, thanks for having me again.
Thanks so much for being here. Before we get to your amazing tricks and tips, I did that the opposite, but that's okay. Can you tell us about you and why you live an offbeat life?
Yeah, so I live an offbeat life because I love my freedom lifestyle of just having a business, having two businesses now, which is nice. And I'm a marketing and business coach, and I have been for the past 2 years. I started as a social media manager, went into owning a business in Dallas and just managing people's platforms, and kind of moved into the consulting space. And I've been online since the end of 2018, and my first full year of business was 2019. So I've been at it for a little over 2 years, and I just love the freedom lifestyle and being super flexible with my schedule. But now I took on the challenge to start a new business with a different business model. So feeling like you have to start from scratch, but I've been able to juggle them really well, and it shouldn't feel like I'm adding more on, but I definitely am with running two businesses. But it's been a challenge, but I've learned a lot. So I'm definitely excited to talk about that today.
I am really excited to hear from you with that as well, because owning one business and running that seems really overwhelming already, but you run two. So can you tell us how that happened and how you actually make the day-to-day work?
Yeah, so my second business is an e-commerce business. So it's called Soulful Scrunchies. I sell scrunchies. I love scrunchies. I'm always bringing back the 80s. Something that was on my heart for a long time. So I started that. And the thing that happened with me was I launched this business in October 2020, and I started working on it about March 2020. And what I found that happened for me was the way that I was running my coaching business almost didn't support my second business. So it's almost like I had too much on my plate in my coaching business to even think about starting a second business. So I had to almost flip my coaching business model upside down and be like, how could I get my coaching business to run on its own and still work on my scrunchie business? Because my scrunchie business was brand new. It was in the building phase, and I had to dedicate a lot of my time to that business, right? So I think it's one of those things where at first I had to work on my coaching business. So what I did with my coaching business is I automated more things. So I kind of got more into sales funnels, passive income, and ads, because a lot of my programs were very hands-on. My one-on-one, my mastermind, my group programs. It's almost like my schedule was filling up slowly, and I was having less time to work on my e-commerce business, right? So I had to automate a lot of things in my coaching business, whether that's onboarding, client systems, my sales funnels, my email marketing. I had to get more into that while I was working on the scrunchie business. So juggling two in the day-to-day life, I actually do something called A/B weeks in my businesses. So what happens for me now is on A weeks, I'm almost dedicating time to work on my coaching business. So that's when I have all my coaching calls, like my one-on-one calls, my mastermind calls. And B weeks is when I dedicate time to work on my scrunchie business, pack orders, do marketing content, influencer marketing plans. So I almost now split up my months, like 2 weeks out of the month, I work on my coaching business. 2 weeks out of the month, I'm working on my scrunchie business. I'm really working on them in a sense all the time, but I'm very organized in a sense. And I was like feeling very hectic. I was like, I need to create some type of schedule. So what that does is now that I'm not packed with so many calls all the time, I'm able to save my energy and also work on my scrunchie business. So juggling two per day. It almost looks like A/B weeks for me now, which has really, really helped me. And I suggest this to all my clients and for everyone. If you can get to A/B weeks with really anything in your life, I think it helps a lot. I'm not going to say I cram things in one week. I spread them out, but having 2 weeks out of the month where I can be creative has really helped me as well.
Can you take us more into that? What does AB week look like? Is it like Monday, it's one business, Tuesday, it's a second business? How do you usually, I guess, organize that?
Yeah, so AB weeks. So A weeks for me, Monday through Friday, are on A weeks are dedicated to my coaching business. So Monday and Fridays every week are CEO days for me, where I just don't have anything. I'm working on my business. Tuesday through Thursdays, I'm working in my business and I have calls, but I dedicate weeks out of every month to focus on one business at a time. So A weeks, like this week was an A week for me. So what happens is this is when I have all my calls. I have my podcast interviews, my one-on-one calls, my group calls, and I'm not really focusing on my scrunchie business. I do have like a social media manager who helps me, but I'm not necessarily focusing heavy on that business. I'm not really doing the email marketing, the systems, etc. I have that kind of running behind the scenes. But B weeks, which was last week, I heavily focused on my scrunchie business. So I sent out influencer campaigns, did some pitches, had some scrunchie phone calls, packed some orders, etc. Because what happened for me is I'm a manifesting generator. I have a lot of energy, but there comes a time when I feel like I'm going to pass out because I've been doing so much. And I don't want to pack orders at 10 p.m. at night, and I don't want to have to make a post or a TikTok on my scrunchie page when I've had 8 calls that day, right? So I separated. A weeks are dedicated to coaching, B weeks are dedicated to scrunchies. That's really helped me have both businesses be pretty sustainable, and I like it. I used to do 3 weeks on per month, just calls. And then 1 week I took completely off and had 0 calls, but I still felt like I didn't have time to work on my e-commerce store. So that's really helped me. A weeks coaching, B weeks e-commerce. That's really helped me a lot. I love doing that. So
I love it. And that's a great way for you to be able to systemize and make sure that you're able to get through everything without burning out, which is so nice for all of us.
Mm-hmm. Burning out, oh my gosh. I've definitely been burnt out before a lot. And that's why I had to incorporate boundaries with my schedule, especially with starting a second business. And even a second business it doesn't even have to be a second business. Maybe you have a different branch of your current business, or you're taking on more clients. You really have to set the boundaries with your schedule, because so many things can add up and you think that you're working so much and you'll be fine because you're seeing so much success. But when burnout hits, it's really not a fun time. It's actually really, really bad, and you don't want to show up. And it's just, that's not a great way to live a sustainable lifestyle, and especially grow your business sustainably too, with consistency.
Yeah, and I like that you're able to create the systems to be able to do this. So aside from AB week, are there anything else that has really helped you get this going, again, without burning out, without pulling out all of your hairs and maintaining all of this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say hiring team members and being good at delegation. So I had to hire more people in my coaching business and my scrunchie business to kind of make both businesses work together. I ended up hiring a marketing and sales agency for my coaching business to help me with email marketing, automations, and funnels, because I can't do that by myself. So I was able to hire them as well. And then I hired a content manager for my scrunchie business because I don't have time to post every day on the platform or take videos. She also manages photo shoots and stuff, because that gets super hectic. So I think when you're at a position to start a new business, you have to get support and you have to get help, but you also need to know how to delegate, and you need to know how to communicate if you want to run a team, which takes practice and it takes just slowly outsourcing. But I'm able to implement systems like ClickUp or Asana or Slack for proper communication and being able to set deadlines and making sure everyone and everything is running in a timely manner. So we're able to achieve the goals that we need to achieve. So, I mean, hiring, it's difficult. It's a big investment, but when you're at the stage when you want to start a second business, you have to hire, you have to delegate, you have to outsource, because you're going to end up wearing all the hats and it's going to be too many hats, and you don't want your second business to fail. So hiring and delegating and making sure I'm doing the proper communication constantly is key to really running both businesses where they need to be.
Awesome. And I agree with that as well. Otherwise, you're just going to run yourself ragged. And if you can afford it, once your business starts creating income, especially, then delegation is key to scaling and growing yourself. So that's so important. Thank you so much, Madison, for being here with us today. We really appreciate all of your tips and tricks. If our listeners want to know more about you, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at madison.tender. You can shop some scrunchies at shopsoulfulscrunchies.com. And my podcast is a Soulful Social podcast. So that's where you can find me.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Madison. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me on.
I hope you enjoyed this extended interview with Madison. Make sure to visit theoffbeatlife.com. Again, that's theoffbeatlife.com to get the full interview where she shares how she became a serial entrepreneur and grew multiple six-figure empires. Hey friend, have you been wanting to start a podcast? I know it can be overwhelming in the beginning. Believe me, I have been there. Lucky for you, we have created a new site called howtocreateapodcast.com that shares a ton of freebies that can help you get started. From launching, growing to monetizing, we share it all in one place. Visit howtocreateapodcast.com for more information. Thanks for joining me on this extended interview. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review on iTunes. We can also chat some more on Facebook at The OB Life. I'll talk to you soon.